Well, good afternoon, race fans. Welcome in. This is your Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series presented by Sweet Victory Apparel. Race day update. We are at the crossroads of the Great South, also known as Swainsboro, Georgia. Swainsboro Raceway. I am Travis Scott alongside Joshua Joyner. Joshua, from race 1 to race 2, we had a little over a month off. From race 2 to race 3, about 5 days since we pulled out of Magnolia, Mississippi, and here we are in Swainsboro, Georgia.
Yeah, that's a quick turnaround, I realize. This is year 1 for us with the series. There's a lot goes into going from one race to the next, and it was a quick turnaround, I'll say that. But I kind of like it. Like I said, we're getting the swing of things here. I'm excited to be here and really getting some events under our belt.
All right, I got to ask you, I've been here plenty of times. You've never been here. We're at Swainsboro Raceway. What used to be a half-mile racetrack, we're actually standing where the inside of turn 3 and 4 used to be. Now we're on the very outside of the wall in what's now turn 3 and 4. It was a half mile until 2019. Paul Purvis and the staff made the decision to cut this racetrack down to a 3/8 mile. What's your initial impression of this racetrack?
Wow, is my initial impression. It's looking at the track. It's unique in that it's flat. It's fairly flat. I've seen some video of the track. It slicks off and races pretty slow, which I like. It'll that slow slick surface. But I'll tell you what jumps out to me is this facility. This is one of the top facilities. A dirt track. And when I say top facilities, when you look at places like Eldora and Lucas Oil Speedway that clearly have a lot of big event facilities, but as far as your Saturday night track, this is got to be one of the best in the country that I've ever been to.
Every time I'm here, there's something different. Paul and I were just talking about all the amenities they've added for the fans. They've got what they call the Budweiser beer room, which sounds like a really cool place for me and you to go after the race. The press box is a nearly brand new, just a great investment into this racetrack.
Yeah, I got to meet Paul and new owner of the track, JJ Williams, today for the first time. We've talked a lot in the build up to the event. Paul clearly has put a lot of work into this place. And handing the reins over to JJ, I think he's got a good person taking over, going to take it forward into the future. And I'm really excited to be here and excited already. We're talking about, man, I hope we get to come back here next year and what we can do to make this a bigger event when we come back here next year, because this is one top-notch facility.
All right, so last week at Magnolia, Josh Putnam picks up the win. It sends him to the top of the points championship, but he's not alone, tied with Joseph Joyner. We've got a tie for the race lead, or point series lead coming into tonight.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. That's when we first came up with the idea of doing this series and got it going, my goal was to have the top regional Southeast talent duking it out week in and week out and have a good points battle. And obviously we got a long way to go, but so far it's turning out the way we envisioned. Will Harrington's right there, 2 points behind him in third, and then we got a 3-way tie for fourth. So it's early, obviously, but I think it's really shaping up. Putnam, I think is going to be. I think if you look at our regulars, Will Harrington, Joseph Joyner, Peyton Freeman would have been maybe the favorites, going into it. But Putnam and a guy like Dalton Cook were the ones that maybe could play spoiler, right? And Putnam last weekend proved that he's going to be one to reckon with in this points chase.
So Peyton Freeman, let's talk about him. Poised for a good run last week at Magnolia, ends up in a nasty barrel roll. Thankfully, he was okay. Brand new race car, but looking for a rebound tonight.
Yeah, that's absolutely the last thing you want to see, no matter how you're involved in this sport, whether you're a competitor, competing against a guy, you're putting on the event or you're sanctioning the event. The last thing you want to see is a race car destroyed. Again, thankfully, Peyton was able to climb out and was okay. And, he's a competitor, resilient. He's been through a lot, the past year with everything he had it going on. And I expect him to bounce back, be here tonight and bounce back and continue to compete in this points chase.
Will Harrington led early, unfortunate circumstances last week. He's also looking for a good night here.
Yeah, and kind of won in his home area here. So this plays into his favor to come here and a good spot for him to bounce back from the disappointment of being what looked like he had a win coming his way at Magnolia to bounce. He obviously is going to be trying to bounce back here tonight.
Another driver to keep your eye on, John Henderson from just up the road in North Augusta, South Carolina. He was really looking forward to this race tonight. He told me last week, he said, I can't wait to get back home.
Yeah, and I tell you what, you talk about a guy with momentum. For a guy like him to go to Magnolia, somewhere kind of out of his wheelhouse and get a podium finish against that field, I imagine he's coming here looking his chops, ready to get on his home track, one of his home tracks, and have another good showing.
We got a couple big name drivers here tonight. Carson Ferguson, Chris Ferguson, both will be here to join the Hunt the Front crowd.
Yeah, definitely. Both Fergusons are going to be exciting to watch. Chris was a nice addition. Didn't know he was coming, but Carson let us know ahead of time, and I think when he saw, he probably had this on his calendar early on because I know he likes this place. He's won here. Another guy that we have dropping in tonight, first time with the series, is Sam Seawright. Had a good run with the Schaefer's Oil Series here earlier this year. I think he ended up second. It led some laps. He's going to be another one to watch of the interlopers, if you will, coming in tonight.
On-track action starts tonight at 6:30. If you can't make it out tonight, we've got it on huntthefront.tv. What was supposed to be race one of a two-race weekend, unfortunately, due to weather, tomorrow night's event at Sonoy has been canceled. Yeah,
that unfortunate situation there. Obviously, we wanted to get in both shows. Obviously, Sonoy did as well, but it's rained a lot there. And it's forecast for more tomorrow. And I don't know if you can see it here. I don't think we're, knock on wood, threat of rain, but it's not exactly a bright sunny day. They fortunately have not had nearly as much rain here as Sonoy has had over the past week. But I talked to Clint Smith and the guys at Sonoy. They're really hoping for a sunny day, but they've got kind of the same overcast weather as we have here, and forecast for rain tomorrow. Let's face it, we all saw what happened last weekend at Magnolia. We saw what happened at Sonoy in March. I think we all agree that it's better just to play it safe rather than to put our guys potentially in a bad situation. We're working on potentially a makeup date for that. We do have a August date at Sonoy already, but we really would like to get 2 races there. So we're hoping to get another one. And honestly, we need more races at this point. We've had if we get in tonight, knock on wood, we'll be 3 for 6.
3 of 6. So
we are looking in to get more races. And of course, the Boyd's closing kind of hurt us there. So we'll hopefully be able to reschedule that and some other changes we have coming up.
All right. So speaking of the Boyd's closure, we were originally scheduled to be there on Labor Day weekend. Big announcement this week: a pair of huge races in the northeast part of Georgia. Livonia, 10,000 win Friday night, September the 1st. That's going to be a big event. I can promise you that. And then over to Rome for the Rome Boss on September 2nd, Saturday night, 15,000 win.
Absolutely. And I will say that if you're excited, I'm excited to go to Livonia, but if you're excited about it, you can thank this guy. He kind of put it on our radar and reached out to Scott Childress and everyone there at Livonia, and they're willing to take that Friday show. Not only take the Friday show, but increase it. At Boyd's, that was originally supposed to be a 5,000 win show, and now it's going to be a 10,000 win show. Then we'll go over to Rome on Saturday. The Rome Boss. We're bringing back the Rome Boss. Took a year off last year. That's an event that's been around a long time, and not only bringing it back, but I think that's going to be probably the biggest payout it's had, that event, that Labor Day event there at Rome. And I'll say this: we booked those races knowing that was the national tours are both running that weekend. This is going to be a great opportunity for regional guys, our guys, but other regional guys as well, to have hopefully a nice payday, have a chance to be in the spotlight, and we're really excited that the folks at Livonia and the folks at Rome are willing to work with us to make that happen.
Scott Childress and the staff at Livonia have done a magnificent job. Marshall Green and everybody, the Swims family over at Rome, we know what they've done there with that facility. So 2 really good additions to the Hunt the Front schedule.
Absolutely. That's one of the things with us putting this schedule together, this tour together, is we want the premier tracks of the Southeast on our schedule, and I think that those are 2 of them. Originally didn't work out where we get them on the original schedule, but the way things have shaken out, we're more than happy to have them on board and taking races, helping us book races this year to get our shows in.
All right. Well, tonight's event, like I said, racetrack action starts at 6:30. We're looking for a great turnout. I believe the grandstands are going to be packed. If you're within a couple hours of this place, come on out. We'd love to have you here. If you can't, watch us on huntthefront.tv.
Absolutely. Going to be a great show. Looking forward to it. Thank you all for tuning in.
Thank you.